everyone, Allie here, and I've got Callie, Ruger, and Kona, and today I'm talking about kennel or crate training. I know a lot of people who don't have crates at their house because their dog either sleeps in their bed or they have their own dog bed, so they don't think that there's a need to have a kennel. But having your dog being able to be in a kennel for any amount of time is super valuable. There are many reasons why it's so important. One can be if your dog goes to the vet to have a surgery, maybe spay or neuter, they have to be there for observation. At some point they might be in a kennel there. So to make it a less stressful situation, if your dog's already kennel trained, it'll make it a lot more positive for your dog. Another place that you might take your dog is the groomer. Sometimes your dog might be put into a kennel while another dog's being bathed. Another big one is dogs that have anxiety. So like for example, Kona a few years ago developed an anxiety and fear to fireworks. Because she's crate trained, she immediately looks for her kennel anytime she hears fireworks. That's super comforting for me because I know that she's not going to try and bolt anywhere. She's just looking for her kennel and she's trying to get inside of it. Another one can be dogs that are afraid of thunder, who maybe chew it in your house. Keeping them in a kennel where they can feel safe is a great spot for them. Another good one is dogs that have the anxiety where they get really excited. So for example, in the vehicle, Kona gets really excited, and to calm her, she needs to be in a kennel. Callie's a dog who doesn't do good with Kona's excitement, so for her to be in a kennel in a vehicle as well also helps. With Ruger, he came to us getting car sick, and so he was a little wary of being in the truck. So when I was kennel training him, that really helped ease him in the vehicle. It only took a matter of weeks before he wasn't getting car sick anymore, but it took us a few months for him to actually get comfortable with being in the kennel. Kona and Callie, it didn't take very long, only a couple of weeks, but every dog's different. So Ruger's still my work in progress, but he's my baby dog. So we are always working on it. As you can see, Kona and Callie totally comfortable with it. Ruger really likes to do fun stuff, so he likes to stand on top of his kennel. I like to make the kennel a high value area and make it something fun for the dogs. A really key thing about crate training your dog is for the vehicle, for vehicle safety. If you're in an accident, if your dog is in a kennel, it prevents them from being ejected from the vehicle. If anyone's coming to help you, emergency crew, and they open up your car, if your dog's in a kennel, it keeps them protected from bolting out and possibly getting hit by a car or taking off because they're scared. An accident can scare your dog as well. So that's the biggest thing for me, is having my dogs safe and secure in our vehicle. So here I have gunner kennels. The two on the ends are mediums. Kona and Callie are between 25 and 30 pounds. They have enough room in there. Because these are in the vehicle, I want them to have a more snug fit than a more luxurious, being able to sprawl out like if they were to sleep in them overnight. Then I want something bigger. But for the vehicle, I want something more secure. So you want to think of it kind of like when we're in a vehicle and we're seat belted in, the seat belt is kind of taught to us. So in the middle here, I've got an intermediate. This is the one that Ruger's riding in. Ruger is 45 pounds right now, and I'm not sure if he'll stay for an intermediate. I suspect that even full grown, he will still stay in an intermediate, but we'll see as he continues to get bigger. So I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to get your dog adapted to a kennel. Good girl, Kona. So, stay Kona. So what you want to do is anytime your dog shows interest in the kennel, you're going to click and feed. So they sniff it, you click and feed, they put some paws in, click and feed. If they're to go all the way in, click and Jackpot Reward. Jackpot Reward means giving multiple cookies. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't stand too far away from your dog when you're first doing this. Stand really close to what you're trying to build high value for. So he's sniffing around. I'll even reward this. Anything that's showing the interest to the kennel. Yeah, good boy. So he puts a paw there, click and feed. Another thing you can do is feed your dog in the kennel. So breakfast time, dinner time, if your dog gets a lunch, feed them in there. Don't worry about closing the door. Leave the door open. Ruger didn't like the door being closed on him. It really freaked him out. So probably for about 2 months, I left the door open. And the kennel would be in the living room. Anytime he went in there, I rewarded him for being in there. Another good one is food toys. Keeps your dog busy for a really long time. Throw a food toy in there and let them just eat away at it while they're in the kennel. We're building high value for the kennel. All the way back. Oh yeah. See, right now he has high value for jumping on the kennel because this has been a trick that we've been working on. Right. Away. Here I'm just helping him and I'm just putting my hand in with the food. I'm waiting for him to get a little bit more motion inside though. Yeah, good boy. Another thing that I like to do is use either a mat or a bed. So here I'm using the Gunner Kennel Performance Pad, and you can use it kind of as a place. So anytime they show interest in it, so he's sitting on it, standing on it, I'm gonna click and feed. Break, good boy. Break, and I always release them from whatever I'm doing. So they're going to a pad or a bed or the kennel. I have a release word, which mine is break, to release them off of it. So then it's resetting to go back up again. Break, good boy. When your dog gets high value for it, they'll eventually sit, maybe they'll down, they'll want to continuously offer it. Break, good boy. And then what you'll do, break, is move the mat closer and closer to the kennel. Oh, good boy. And he goes in, click and feed. Another thing that you can do is grab your cookies and throw them in. Good boy. Okay, ready, bud? Yeah, good boy. And here's where you would jackpot reward this. Good boy, break. Yes. Oh, you got scared by her? Go, Kennel. Go, break. In. Oh, break. In. Thank you. Yes. And like I said, all dogs learn at different rates, so just be patient with it. This isn't gonna happen overnight. Like I said, it's been months with Ruger. I want it to be super positive and him to have a really good experience to the crate. I don't want him to be nervous by it, especially because the crate is where I need him to be comfortable in the truck. So that's a big thing for me. You can see he walks in and out, whereas with Kona and Callie, I want them to come out when I release them, which that I work on with Ruger when the door is shut. So when the door gets shut, he has to wait for me to release him, even though I may have opened the door. So here I've shut it. Give him a cookie on the side, and then when I would open it, break. Oh, good boy. Excellent. Kona and Callie have been so good and patient here, so I'm going to reward them. And then, like I said before, I like to make it fun, so we do fun stuff where, Ruger, hop, hop. Yeah, there you go. Over, over, break. And just make things a fun game. Dogs like to have a good time, so if we're always super strict and not having fun with our dogs will see that. So play with your dogs, make it fun, be creative, play crate games. Dogs love that. They learn so well that way. So that's crate training your dogs. I hope that helps and you guys can have success crate training your dog.